Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we are going to learn how you can create explosions in Unreal Engine with the help of Niagara Fluids. Also, please stay till the end of the video as I am going to share a tip in which you can render Niagara Fluids in high resolution with your 6GB or 8GB graphic card also. So without any delay, let's jump into Unreal Engine.
My name is Viral Shah and welcome back to my channel RenderRebels.
Let's start creating explosion using Niagara Fluids. If you are new to Niagara Fluids, you can check out my beginner guide to Niagara Fluids in Unreal Engine and then you can continue with this video. So let's go to content drawer here. Let's right click. Let's create a new Niagara system. Let's create a empty emitter here. So we are going to create a empty emitter. Let's name it to explosion. Now, as usual, we are going to double click it. Here, we are going to do some settings. So let's just dock this here. Now we are going to pause the simulation here. We are going to go to first frame. Let's start by adding some particles into our scene. So for explosion, we are going to have a burst of particles. So it would be like one-time burst thing. So particles will burst and then it will disappear. So let's do that first. So let's go to emitter update. Let's add a spawn. But here we are going to add a spawn burst instantaneous. And now if I play here, you can see we are not getting anything, just a single particle. Okay. Now if I go back, you can see we are having this one particle here. So let's start with 15 here. And then if we want, we can increase it step by step. Okay. Now if I click on play again, you will see we are having 15 particles born at the same place here. First, we are going to have a lifespan of this particle. So for that, as usual, we are going to go to particle spawn here. We are going to randomize this. So let's just click on this arrow here and we are going to do a random range plot. And again, we are going to give a value of like 0.4 to 0.75 seconds. Let's just play it again. And now you can see they are just appearing and disappearing. So basically they are dying at the end of their life cycle. Now let's just add some velocity into our scene. So we are going to go to our particle spawn here. Let's just add velocity here. And as soon as you do that, you will find some errors here. Just click on fix issues. And now we are going to switch our Niagara system to GPU, because if you remember from our last video, we are going to use Niagara Fluids and Niagara Fluids use GPU basically. So we are going to go to CPU here. We are going to change to GPU compute sim and then we are going to go to fixed here. Now again, we are going to play it again. And now you can see we are getting a particle burst and it's going upwards and disappearing. And now why it is going upward? Because in add velocity, you can see we have given it a Z axis velocity of 50. So we can increase it also to 75 and it will go faster in Z direction. So now you can see it's going faster. Now I want my particles to go upwards, but not in a same line, but it should be distributed like a turbulence. So for that, we are going to add here a shape parameter. So we are going to click on a particle spawn and we are going to add shape here, a shape location, and we are going to basically go for sphere. So if I click on play now, you can see it's emitting particles from sphere basically. So it's emitting 15 particles from that sphere. So if you want the distribution of the particles to 100% on that sphere, you can just turn this to 100 here, means 1. It's 100%. So basically it's 1 here. And now if I click on play again, you will see we are getting something like this. Now we are going to reduce the radius of the sphere. So we are going to make sphere small here. It's an invisible sphere basically, so we cannot see that. Now you can see we are getting something like this. But as you guys can see, it's going in Z direction, but all in the same place. So I want some turbulence in this. So how you can add some turbulence? So it goes into noise parameter. Okay. So for that, we are going to go to particle update and we are going to add a curl noise force. And as soon as I do that, you will see now our particles will randomly go upwards. So if I play here, now you can see it's going randomly, but I want more strength here. So I'm going to increase my noise strength to around 400 or maybe 450. Okay. And I am going to reduce my noise frequency to 40 here. Okay, and now if I click on play, you can see it's going upwards and going in different direction randomly. which is a good thing because in explosion, this is going to be helpful when we are going to create smoke from these particles here. So let's add one more curl noise here. But before that, I'm going to reduce the strength to 400 here. And again, I'm going to add a curl noise force. And again, I'm going to go to noise strength of, let's say, 350 here. And let's just reduce the noise frequency to around maybe 5 or maybe 3 here. And now let's just play here. And now you can see we are getting something like this. So it's going upwards and then in random direction. So the smoke will also follow this particles. We are going to add our basically fluid source. So if you remember from last video, we are going to click on particle update and then we are going to add our fluid source here. Okay. So we are going to set source fluid attribute, and here we are not going to change anything right now. We are just going to add this to our gas emitter. So for that, we need to rename our particle. Let's just name it to particles underscore explode for explosion. Now we are going to right click, add emitter, and we are going to add a master gas emitter here as we have done in previous videos also. Now just give it a second to load it into your scene. And as usual, I tell when I am doing Niagara, just save your scene because Niagara fluids are still in beta and it can crash on your scene. So it's better to save rather than doing all of this again. So let's just press Ctrl S here. Now let's go to untitled scene. Let's go to file. Let's save all here. Okay. Now we are going to go to our explosion here. So now if I play here, you will see we are getting this smoke from our sphere into our master gas. And if you see closely, we are also emitting our particles. But I want smoke to be emitted from our particles here. So if you are, again, I'm telling, if you are new to Niagara Fluids, don't follow this video. First, check out my beginner's guide to Niagara Fluids in Unreal Engine. After that, you will get what I am telling in this video because this is an advanced session. So I am not going to repeat each and every step again and again and going to explain each and everything I am doing. So let's go to source here. Then we are going to go to our sphere source. We are going to disable that and we are going to enable our particles here. So let's click on emitter. And now we are going to take here our particles which we have created and we have named it particles explorer. And now if I go back and if I play, now you can see we are emitting smoke from our particles here. And this is looking really good. So let's just check this out into our scene. But before doing that, let's just increase our grid size. So let's just go to simulation. Let's go to world size here. Let's just do it to 600 by 600. Let's just increase it to 800. So let's just go to 800 by 800 and let's just go to 1200 here because it is going to go upwards. And let's just set our local pivot to 0.4 here. Let's just hide this sprite renderer here. We are going to save it and we are going to go to our scene here. And now we are going to add our explosion to our scene. So let's just drag and drop our Niagara particles here. And now you can see we are getting something like this here. But as you guys can see, it is looping now, but I want my explosion to be one time only. So for that, what we are going to do, we are going to pause this here. We are going to go to our explosion. We are going to go to our system state here. We are going to do loop behavior only once because I want my explosion to loop only one time here so that we can see how our smoke dissipates in our explosion. And let's change the loop duration to around 4 seconds. So after 4 seconds, our explosion would vanish. Okay, so now if I play it again here, now you can see this is looking really good. Now the main things come. So if you know till now, we haven't touched divergence. So basically divergence in Niagara Fluids is used to create explosions. So let's just do that first. But before doing that, let's just add temperature to our scene. So we are going to go to emitter summary and let's just add our temperature. And now let's see how this is looking. So this is looking really good. You can create this kind of effect also. This is also looking nice. So we are going to first decrease the temperature here because as you can see, this is looking way too much bright. So for that, if you remember from our last video, we are going to go to set fluid source attribute here. and we are going to reduce the temperature here to, let's say, 0.2, but we are going to randomize each and every values here, so we get some really good natural results here. So we are going to go to random float range for 0.08 to 0.1. Now let's see again how this is looking, and now this is looking really good. Okay, now as I told you, to get explosion you need to play with divergence value. So let's just start with a value of 10 here, and if I play here, you will see we are getting some big plumes here. We can increase this also. So let's just go here to divergence. We are going to random this also, and we are going to take it to, let's say, 13 to 15 or 16 or 17. As per your reference, you can go here. So this is looking nice here. Now, to get that big explosion thing, you need to on this divergence in grid gas master 3D also. So let's go to emitter summary here. Let's go to our source tab, and now we are going to scroll downwards and just click on this read divergence. And if I click on this, you can see this type of effect can be useful for explosions here. So let's just click this here. Let's take the divergence scale to 10 here, and now you will see we are getting this explosion here. See, okay, so this is looking nice. Now let's just increase this divergence scale to, let's say, 15, and let's go backward here. Let's do this, and now you can see we are getting something like this here. So let's just go backwards here. We are going to go to our add velocity here, and we are going to reduce the speed to, let's say, 45. Now let's just play again, and this is looking nice. Okay, let's just go here and see how this is looking. Okay, so let's just auto activate it. Okay, and this is looking nice here. Now you can see this is looking something like this. Okay, this is looking really good. We are getting that explosion. So let me show you that divergence step. So if I go here into our emitter summary, and if I take the divergence to 2 here, okay, or let's just turn it off so I can show you what exactly we are getting. And now if I auto activate it, you can see we are getting something like this. But if I take the red divergence and take it to even 5 also, you will see the effect here. See. Okay, so let's just randomize this diversion. So we will take the divergence value to, let's say, random float, and let's just take it from 12 to maybe 16 here, or let's just go from 13 to 16. Now you can play also with velocity radius scale. So if I take it to 0 here, and if I go here and auto activate it, you can see we are not getting that much big explosion. So to expand the explosion, you need to play with your velocity radius scale. So let's just randomize this also. So let's just go from 1.3 to 1.6, and let's just go back and let's just auto activate it. And now you can see this is looking really good. Now we need to add turbulence to break our smoke here. So for that, we are going to go to explosion here. Okay, we are going to go to our forces tab, and then we are going to add our calculate turbulence. We want a really good turbulence value. So let's just take it to maybe 80 here, and let's just go here. Okay, and let's just auto activate it, and now you can see we are getting something like this. Let's just decrease the turbulence frequency to maybe 0.15 here. And one more thing I want to do, I want to increase the quality somewhat. So let's just do the pressure solve iterations to 12, and let's just take the maximum resolution to 250 for right now. And let's just go here, let's just auto activate it, and now you can see we are getting this really good explosion into our scene. Okay, now let's just add some more turbulence. So let's just again go to our forces tab. Let's just add a second turbulence. Let's just do a turbulence gain maybe around 50 here. Okay, and let's just do 0.4. So we are randomizing this, and let's just add a small scale turbulence also. And if you want, you can add a wind also. So let's just add a wind in X direction, but not that much. So let's just give a value of 2 here. Now let's just save the scene. Let's just go back to our scene. Let's just auto activate it. And now you can see this is looking really good. We are getting a really good explosion here into our scene. We can play with the particles also. So let's just go to our initialize particle in spawn but instantaneous, and let's just do maybe 25 here, and let's see how this is looking. Okay, now you can see we are getting this big explosion here. If you want, you can also increase the grid size here. So I want this to be expanded more. So let's just go to emitter summary. Let's just go to our simulation tab. Okay, and let's just increase our world size here. So let's just go up to 1200 here. Okay, this is looking nice. Now let's just decrease the our density buoyancy also. So let's just go to 0.3, and we want to decrease our temperature buoyancy also because it's going way too fast. So we are going to random range this, and we are going to go from 0.2 to maybe 0.3 here. Okay, and now this is going to look good. So let's just go here, and now let's just auto activate this, and now you can see this is looking something like this here. Okay, let's just close this and do it again. So now you can see this is looking nice. Okay, let's just zoom it a bit, and you can see from different angles also. So let's just play it once again, and now you can see this is looking great. Let's just change our lighting also. So let's just press Ctrl L, and let's just change our lighting here. Okay, so let's just play it again here. And if you want, you can, for shadows, you can switch to path tracing also. And now you can see this is how it is looking in path tracing. So we are going to go to lit again, and we are going to auto activate it. If you want, you can increase the resolution more, and also you can decrease the turbulence also if you want. So let's just decrease the turbulence here. Also call noise we can decrease. So let's just go to maybe 350 here. Okay, and here we are going to go around maybe 250 or 200. Okay, and one more thing, I am going to reduce the particles also. I think 25 are way too much. So let's just go to 15 or 16 here. Okay, now let's just save this, and let's just auto activate it once again. So basically you need to play with the values as per your reference, and you will get the final result here. So if I auto activate it now, you can see we are getting this really good explosion here. Okay, now if you want your explosion to be more fast, then you can increase the temperature buoyancy also. We can cache this out with our Niagara cache. If you don't know how to do Niagara cache, you can check out my last video of the fire burning tree effect. In that, I have shown you how you can do Niagara cache in sequencer. So do check that out. Now, as I promised, I am going to show you a method here with the help of which you can render your Niagara fluids in high quality without getting crash here. So let me show you that method here. So if I go to explosion, and if you go to emitter summary here, and if you try to increase the resolution here to let's say 300 or 400, then you will see your Unreal Engine is crashing. It's mainly because your GPU is not having enough virtual RAM. So if you want that 400 resolution in your scene, but you don't want to see it in viewport, so basically you can render it out without any crash in movie render queue, then you need to do this thing here. So you need to go to your quality override tab. Okay, and in quality override, you need to disable this first. You can see quality override is in cinematics, and here you need to change your override resolution to let's say 400. Okay, and if you now go to simulation tab again, you can see we are having here a resolution of 250. If I play it here also, it would be of 250 only. But if I render it with movie render queue, okay, then you will get the resolution of 400 basically. So this is a tip that you can use basically if you are having a low GPU in VRAM and your Niagara fluids are crashing when you are increasing the resolution, then you can do this trick. Basically, it will quality override, and it will only use 400 resolution when you are going to render it with movie render queue. Now let me open the scene that I have created, and let me explain you a bit the values which I have done for my explosion. So let me open the sequencer here, and let me show you how this is looking. So this is how it is looking here. And as you can see, this is a really high quality sim because I have cached it with Niagara cache component here. And if you don't know how to do that, again check my previous video on Niagara Fluids. You will get the idea how you can cache the sim out. So if I move here, you can see this is looking really good into our scene. Let's just press G here. And if I go to explosion and let me show you my settings that I have done. So as you can see in my spawn here, you can see I am having 15 particles here. And if I go to our cull noise, you can see it's around 100 here and it's around 150 here. Okay. And if I go to my emitter summary here you can see my resolution max access is around 500. Then you can see I have randomized my temperature buoyancy here. And if I go to my source tab here, and in source tab you can see basically I am having a divergence scale of 7 to 9 here, and I am having the velocity radius of 1.3 to 1.5. And if I scroll upwards here, you can see I am having a turbulence also. Only one turbulence is there. Okay. So you can see there is 120 and 25, and you can see I am having the small scale turbulence also. So this is my settings basically in which I have done this explosion here. So let me play it again for you guys. And now you can see this is looking something like this. So basically if I render it with path tracing, we are going to get shadows here, which is looking really good. So you can also render it with path tracing here. So let me just switch back again to my lit mode, and this is looking really good. So if I just play it here, you can see this is how it is looking. So that's it for this tutorial, guys. Hope you guys learn how to create explosion in Unreal Engine. If you guys like my video, please share it with your friends who wants to learn Unreal Engine. Press that like button and subscribe to my channel for more such interesting videos. Thank you guys. See you next time. Bye bye.